Mute your mics too, please. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Khaliq Glover, also known as Khaliq-O-Vision, and I want to welcome you back to another Google Hangout that we do bi-weekly, usually every twice a week. Trying to keep you up on different things, keep us all interacting, and do like we did back in the old days when we used to hang out in the various studios, hang out in the hallways of multi-room studios, hang out in the kitchen and all that. Since a lot of that's gone now, this is the next best thing, and actually it may be better because we get a chance to hang out with each other worldwide, so it doesn't matter. You don't physically have to go there. Logistics are no longer a problem. So, this is kind of cool. This is why I like doing it. I made sure that I try to keep on a consistent basis for you so that you know that we can go ahead and do our thing and just talk with each other and just be real, open about the things that are coming across the horizon in music. Learn some new things because with a worldwide full of soldiers out here, a whole web full of people, no one person can find everything and all the new information and everything. So this is the perfect platform. So you're in the right place, and we are doing the right thing. This is going to help you by us all hanging out with each other. Everybody lifts each other up. If you're new to us hanging out, welcome. You're going to learn a lot from a lot of different people. I've been around doing this for over 30 years now. I'm a Grammy Award winner, and I've had a chance to work with some of the best artists out there. So if you're new and you don't know who I am or whatever, I'm here to help you. And, I've been lucky and had enough experience in a lot of different areas to kind of get a broad thing. I've been a musician, started out as a musician. So if you're a musician and you're starting this way and you don't know anything technical, it's okay because the technical thing, I started completely knowing absolutely nothing about anything technical other than how to plug in my guitar into my guitar amp. But you learn as you go on, and then learning from other people, hanging around other people, helping out occasionally. This is the things that got me going and kept me going over the years. So I'm just extending the process right now to you based on all the people that have helped me over the years, all the different things I've been able to learn. So you don't worry about it no matter where you're at. Now, if you're more advanced or whatever, come on in and contribute to the group so that everybody can learn, because no one person can know it all or has the one answer. This is why I love music so much, because music is so great. It's a living and breathing entity that just keeps growing and changing and shifting with time. So I'm constantly learning, so it keeps on feeding me. So it doesn't matter what I did, I'm like a newborn baby every time, trying to keep getting more information and everything. That's where you come in to help me. So I'll give you what I know, but you also give the things you going on, and with that, we all get stronger. Does that sound like a plan to everybody? Because I think that's kind of good. I want to welcome some of the other people that are hanging out with me, and people are filing in constantly. We have room inside for up to 10 people to come in. So if you're on the Pensado students watching this, I posted the link to join us inside, or if you just want to watch and hang out, the YouTube link is there. But the best option is to go to mymusichangouts.com and enter your information there so that you'll get put on the list to be notified when we do these. And then that's the best option for you. But anyway, if you want to come in and join us and contribute to the group or just hang out and say hi, it's cool. We got up to 10 people who can fit in here with us. Anyway, I want to say what's up to everybody. We got Jason, we got Josh, we got Urban, and a few more people coming in. Dave Hampton, I spoke to him a little earlier, so he'll be popping in. And Bill and Maad, I think, will be coming by today. A few other people. So just say what's up, guys. Anybody want to unmute their microphone and say what's happening to the people?
Sure. Jay Brown from Atlanta, Georgia. Well, not really from, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. Let me say it that way. I'm a mixer. I'm an engineer. I'm also an instructor at a local college up here. Just coming in to share some, get some insight, be taught, as well as maybe teach some other things, learn some new tricks, learn some new stuff, and just contribute to the group. So that's me.
That, that's great. Yeah, and Jason is a wealth of knowledge and skill, and we appreciate having you here, man. You've always been very helpful, and this is just a cool thing to do for us to all keep touching base with each other and sharing the wealth.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And who's next?
What's up, everyone? My name is Josh Hayward, and I'm a recording and mixing engineer down here in Texas. I've been working in the industry for about 5 years, but I do this literally 24/7. And if I'm not mixing or recording, I'm marketing, and that's another thing that I teach. I have a highly rated music marketing course on Band Happy, and I'm going to be turning that into a video series here pretty soon, hopefully. And always looking to learn new things and help folks out and deliver banging mixes.
Cool, cool, man. Cool, very good. And hey, man, we need to talk too, because if you got some music marketing things and all that, you and I should talk a little bit further as well. I've been doing that as well, very successfully for the last few years, and so maybe we can help each other some kind of way.
Definitely, I'm always down to do that. I have a few other people. I'm actually trying to get this big conglomerate of music marketing experts together and do kind of like a forum thing similar to this.
Mm-hmm. Cool, cool, very cool. All right, and who else we have here?
Yeah, you have Hugh here. I'm down in Atlanta, Georgia as well. I'm just absorbing information, man. Working on mixing, working on writing, doing some engineering. So just taking the best knowledge from some of the best guys in the industry.
And you know what I meant to ask you a long time ago because your name always comes up as Urban, but I hear you say Hugh different times. And which one do you prefer to be known by when you're coming on here?
Well, Urban Driven is just the name, my music name. Music, the label, the business name. But my name is Hugh, so
Okay.
you can say
So,
Hugh. Hugh Holman. It doesn't really matter. But that's the way I had initially linked the account. So.
right, right. Okay, cool, cool. Well, welcome again, Hugh, aka Urban. Well, we'll probably go back and forth. I'll go back and forth with you because we know the importance of branding first of all, and I know you're trying to build your brand and all that. So, you know, let people know that it's one and the same, no matter what name they search for or look for. They won't, have a problem finding you, getting straight to Hugh, also known as Urban. Cool. All right. So, guys, today the subject that I wanted to basically talk about, I was just going through some different things and looking at some new information. When Dave gets on, he's going to talk about some new things that he saw about things such as how people are storing and managing digital assets. And do me a favor, guys. In between, if you're not talking, just go ahead and mute your microphone up top. That way, we won't get your typing noise and all that. I just muted you, Josh. Okay, I got you. Yeah, Dave and I were talking about, like he went to this one place that is, like the main place that does a lot of storage and archiving for a lot of things from almost the dawn of music history since they first started recording things, and you can pretty much find and leak anything. Uh, and with digital asset management, you can pretty much tag anything so that you can get anywhere in any period in time in an instant. So I thought that was interesting. I've been going around looking, as all of you probably do, various equipment that's out there, that people are using, both hardware and software plugins and things like that. So I wanted to, toss a few things around. And if anybody has run into some stuff that they think would be really cool and useful for everybody, we can discuss it a bit. And also, I just wanted to talk as well about some stuff that's, outside the box. If anybody has run into some outside the box things, one of the things that I'll talk about right away, Eventide, which is a company that I love. I've been dealing with them and endorsing their products for decades now. Because I started out back, the first Eventide product I bought was an Eventide H3000. They're ultra harmonizer, and I got mine completely tricked out with as much stuff as could possibly be put in there, and got pretty good at it. That was part of what helped me develop signature processing sounds, so that it got me in the door to work on a lot of projects, because I was doing something different. I developed my own sound, which is a very important thing. Everybody's getting a lot of the same plugins. Everybody has a lot of the same hardware. But if you can find one or two things that become your signature sound that make you stand out from the crowd, so you don't have just good sounding stuff, but you have interesting sounding stuff because you're doing something different, that'll give you a huge edge. I know that gave me a big edge to getting in some things where, quite frankly, there's a lot of guys that may have done some stuff and may have had way more experience and been way more talented and way more knowledgeable, but I was able to dig in and find that little thing that was different and made people's ear perk up, and they'll be like, "Oh, what was that?" And nobody had thought about that. So it's not always us as engineers. We still got to remember that there's a pyramid. Think about a pyramid. A pyramid being, you got a wide base at the bottom, and then it goes up another level. It gets a little bit narrow and a little bit more narrow. Each level goes up till finally it gets to the peak of the pyramid, which is shaped like a triangle. Well, at the base, the bottom, which is where most people live when they're doing stuff, that's everybody using all the same stuff and doing all the same things. So, you need to have all the knowledge that's at the base of the pyramid, obviously. But you don't want to live there, because if you live there, you're not going to stand out. That's where everybody is. So you just kind of get melded in. And plus, all the other levels stack on top of you, So you don't want to live at the bottom level of the pyramid. Going up the next level is a step better. But you definitely want to elevate. What you really want to go to is at the peak of the pyramid, at the very top, having something special. There's only a few people that ever reach that peak. I myself, I'm not at the peak. I've never reached that peak because there's only a handful out there. And like I said, I'm very, very humble and realistic about where I am. So I have a pretty good skill set, but I'm not the be all end all in engineering, nor am I aspiring to be that, because that's just, I like making good music, so I want to make sure it's at a high quality level, the highest level that is good for me that I can do. But I have other things too, so but then there's other people that's all that they do, and those are the people that are at the very top of that pyramid. I'd say I'm down maybe the rung above the top, or one or two rungs, and I'm okay with that, because there's still very few folks there. I suggest most people, if you can aspire to get to that level, you'll be very cool and very successful in your career. So this is what I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about, the unique things, the things that you may have come across. I was starting out to talk about Eventide, and they have a new box out, and it's basically a mic. I'm gonna see if I can find it in here because I saw it earlier. But it's basically a microphone input box where you can insert effects live into live microphones. Now most people, when they're working in the studio, they do the normal chain, mic into the mic preamp, blah, 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 straight through whatever processing you're going to do and everything. Like I said, that's the way everybody does it. But a slant on that approach is to use something like this Eventide thing to put some real-time effects and things like that within there, so that as a singer is singing live, you can do some things, or you can even branch it off, multi-signal, and parallel it off, so that you can inject some stuff based on what you're feeling at the moment, what's kind of going on, but it's onto its own separate track, so it doesn't ruin anything that's a good take if you're doing live thing. The better way even is to just simply do a reamping thing and run back the straight signal through your normal stuff that you're going to do, but then branch off to the side and use something like this to inject some stuff in real time while it's going on, and you can do it at any time when it pops into your head if you have something plugged into this unit. That way you get inspired action, you know, and that's really a great thing. I'm gonna see if I can find that unit for you. But that was one of the things, like I said, I wanted this subject to be about what's some new stuff that's inspiring, that takes you to outside that normal comfort zone where everybody else lives. When we were talking about the Pensado students entering the Pensado Awards and some of the other people out there, the one thing that Dave Pensado himself said that he was going to be looking for, because he's going to be listening to the same song over and over again, this same song with various minor iterations of this mix. So what's going to really capture his ear and the other people that we're judging is something that's different, somebody that seeks to step outside the box. And so this is where I talk about, you know, we've got Dave Hampton on here, and Dave will tell you, I mean, all my career has been about me trying to find the different slant, something that makes me stand out, because we all know, like I said, the same stuff. Everybody knows the same hardware units to plug in, the mic preamps, the effects chains and all that. Everybody's doing all the same stuff. So what made me different was to become a master of the Eventide H3000. You know, that gave me one little thing so I could pop something on nobody else had heard, folks. Even though the H3000 was everywhere in all the studios, most people weren't digging into it, you know. So that made me stand out. So that took me up the pyramid, up to the pyramid, the hierarchy of the pyramid. So, you know, just I want to talk about that. Dave, welcome too, man. Like, did you hear what we're talking about, kind of?
I came in kind of late, but I'm catching on. But you know, fill me in real quick, or I'll catch up. You know.
Well, I was just telling them, you know, I wanted to talk today about some new things that people need to know about to kind of give them an edge, you know, or to take it to a different way of thinking about extending their music career, getting in different doors or whatever. I was letting them know that you and I talked about some new things that you saw when you attended that thing the other day, because they found a new way to even deal with how digital assets are stored and archived and accessed and everything. So this is everybody constantly reinventing this paradigm to you know, find new ways of making themselves or their businesses or their careers stand out.
Mm-hmm. Are you talking about new boxes as well?
New box, everything, you know, because it can be new boxes, new approaches, new plugins, everything, you know, and the main thing is because we've got a worldwide audience, I know that a lot of people are going to run into stuff that you and I may never see. So that's why I thought it'd be good.
Yeah. I know recently I just ran into the Universal Audio, that little Duo.
Yeah.
Desktop unit. It's a very powerful unit. And, very, very impressive. Very impressive. Also, some of the Focusrite stuff looks real interesting too. RedNet.
Oh, which one?
RedNet, and some of the boxes that allow you to do some networking functions where you can have several rooms available, and just, you know, one or two boxes kind of expands your whole look. So I think we're going to see a lot of that. You know, on the individual level though, small boxes like the Universal Audio stuff, they give you so much bang for the buck, and they don't wear out your computer processor.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
tilt your camera down a little bit more towards your face, man.
Is that cool?
Yeah, much better.
Okay.
Much better.
Yeah, the Universal Audio boxes, they don't wear out a lot of your processor. You know, they really, those guys are really kind of surging ahead of everybody else. And I think that's going to be the flavor for a little while, because they really worked hard on it. They really worked hard on developing some really solid products. There's a couple, you know, there's a lot of performance stuff I think we're going to start to see too. Just a lot of performance pieces and pieces that do live a double life, so to speak. They'll live a life in the studio, and then you'll be able to take them on the road and work with them in your live act. I think the live act is kind of where everybody's going to start to separate themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody
By the way, Dave, real quick, speaking of live, because you had a chance to go out and work on some live stuff, and we've seen some different stuff. But what's been interesting to me, I don't know if you've run across it. Have you seen that new SSL live mixing board?
Yeah, I did see it. It's very impressive. It's very, it was bound to happen that they would get into that market because everybody's trying to figure out a way to stay in the conversation. Typically, SSL has always been a studio conversation. So when SSL becomes a live board now, the events mixed on it, it captures the information, and it does the whole psychology just like you're dealing with a regular SSL kind of framework that's been set up. So it's a natural thing. I think it's the first version of it. I think probably if you're some of the larger groups, you can afford to work on things like that, or you can say, hey, send one out. I want to see what it is. For the most part, the live community is looking at Digico and Yamaha. Those are kind of the two front runners in live front of house consoles.
Mm-hmm.
Yamaha and Digico. You will see some other things. Midas technology, especially now since Behringer has taken them over. There's one mixer in particular that's pretty impressive. It's called the X32.
Yeah.
Something everybody should take a look at. Because that mentality right there is probably the best of what Midas had to offer, and you put it and combine it with Behringer's ability to give you a lot for a low cost. It's a real impressive thing, and it gets you trained on digital architecture. So if you're just looking for a good mixer for your studio or something, and you got a little that's a pretty little intelligent box, and signal and noise is pretty good. It's very clear. It's got some functions where you can remote control it from your iPad. So it's really they really thought ahead. They really thought ahead, and it expands to bigger systems.
Hey man, let me ask you this: is Digi's live console still out there, or is it
they had their live console is still out there. Of course, now they're called Avid. So,
right.
But yeah, there are a lot of people that still use those as well. I would say that again, theirs is a move of convenience, because usually when you're looking at large tour setups, some people will carry them, some engineers will carry them, and a lot of times the PA companies, if they've got a client and the engineer is somebody they've been working with, they'll get the engineer whatever console they want. But for the most part, it's I think the drawback in some cases has been just the sound. Some people tend to prefer Digico and what they've done with the open-ended architecture, the ability for you to use all your plugins from all your other stuff. Now with Waves introduced in a box called DigiGrid, allows you to use your Waves plugins on the road. So as an engineer, you can travel a little further with your client. You can not just cut yourself off and, I only did the record. If you're daring enough and you want to work and you think you can contribute something, you can travel with your artist through the live performance phase of their career. And I think it's cool. I think devices like that offer us an edge to stay involved with our clients and keep revenue coming in. I think it's always good to kind of look at these other facets. And for all of us who are doing recording, we need to look at the live setting, because that's really the one place where you're going to find the ability to capture a recording and not have to go through a lot of red tape, because everybody wants to play live because they want to get in front of their audience, or potentially some people that are going to become fans or whatever, and there's nothing that beats that. So if you're an engineer who's equipped and you're ready to record somebody and mix them live and take them into the studio, it means you're going to have some relationships that last a long time with your clients, and you're going to be able to travel a little bit further than just, I only mix them live, or I only do this. We have to look at the business like that.
Yep.
We have to look at how can we use the tools to create more for us and for the community that we serve. You know, not everybody wants to be a producer engineer. There's some people just want to be engineers. And so if you want to extend your life as an engineer, shoot, even if you want to give yourself more angles to come from as a producer, it helps to be able to kind of live in both worlds and understand the nuances of taking somebody who you've manicured this record in the studio, you've mixed it, you've done all this, but now you have to translate that to a live audience and try and get the same reaction you did from all the work that you did manicuring it in the studio. That's a real challenge. It's a real challenge, and I think the more and more engineers who just work on assembly and mixing step out and understand the live aspect, it will help you be a better engineer when you go back into the studio, because it'll give you a perspective. Because if you're always mixing and tricking, you know, using the tricks and creating, you know, I'm going to melodyne this to pieces, you know, and then you never see the artist and deliver the performance, you know, it's something else, you know, entirely. So it's good to kind of do that. And I think nowadays, because the tools are so available, we have the option when we're in that initial relationship building phase with our clients and people we work with or write with. That's the point in which you kind of figure out, hey, well, let me see what fits, what works, and what do we feel comfortable working on together. But it just gives you more bandwidth in your career. You know, it's not going to, because the tools are so prevalent, there's more people you're in competition with to do what you don't want to do or what you don't think you can do. So, you know, it's something to kind of look at these tools in a couple different ways, not just for the clever thing they allow you to do, but for the things that they allow you to give access to the people that you are already working with, you know.
Yep. Jason, you wanted to say something? I saw you had a comment. You saying?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I wish I had the opportunity to get out live, because, like you were saying, I think if I just imagine it, I think it would help me in the studio to make commitments easier. Right? You have to do that stuff on the fly.
You mean decisions?
Yeah, making decisions. You know, going to, you know, making commitments and going with the sound. You know, hey, look, we have to capture it right now. You got one shot to do it. And a lot of things where maybe, you know, I can sit here for 8 hours working on a tone, but I don't have that luxury in a live environment. So, you know, yeah, I'm sure that would where it could be taken. You know, the live aspect of it.
That's a real important point that you just said, because one of the luxuries that we all have because of the digital age has been that we have an inordinate amount of time that if we don't keep track of it, we'll spend so much time on the snare that we're not listening to the other aspects of the song. You know, I was listening to some music over the weekend, and I was hearing some songs. I said, wow, they really worked hard on the snare. Now, they didn't work hard on everything else, but they worked hard on the snare because you remembered it. But the other elements, as you listen to it, and it's like there were all these other things going on and trace elements of where, okay, either the person doing the work was the drummer, or, you know, you can tell these different characteristics when you hear different songs, but we have this whole thing that we have to keep track of, that is this unusual amount of time we have to dedicate, and we can't get lost in these sonic potholes, you know. Oh, I'm just going to do this, I got to make this decision, and then you've got all this indecision, and meanwhile you forgot what the client wanted, like Khaliq was talking about last week. You know, it's like you're hearing what you want, but you got to remember what the client wanted in the track. And so, you know, I think one of the things is just to be a good manager of time. And I think that's where the other things comes into play in the basics. You know, I always go back to that chart that, I don't know if everybody has it here, but I carry with me the chart that Khaliq has. And it's invaluable because as a tool, I'm gonna take it out so you guys can see it. As a tool, what it does, can everybody see it? and
Yeah.
he'll make
Yeah.
reference to it. He'll make reference to it. I guess you got it somewhere where you can send it back out, right, Khaliq?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But as a tool, what it does is just reminds me not to get stuck, because we can all get stuck, in, especially when we're dealing with sounds and boxes, and you say, "Oh man, I really like this new box. It's doing this," and you get so stuck you forget about the other elements that are going on. It's like, oh, I got something else coming, you know. And so it's being a good manager at time is like crucial, and I think that whole thing of the live decision making, yeah, it can help relieve you of some of that it just trains your muscle. Just trains your muscle on what you should do, what you shouldn't do, or just standing behind it and basically trying to create something live on the spot and get yourself out of a pickle if you make the wrong decision. Because we all, I mean, especially with stuff like live compression and things like that, that's a constantly changing thing. You know, there's no absolutes, and I think one of the things is that the early devices that some of us came up on were just that. They were just hard compressors. They were not compressors with all these auto features on that will do latch on to the wave and follow it and do it. Wasn't none of that. You had to you set a compression level, and then sometimes you had to do what's called visual compression, where you're actually watching the vocalist and you're trailing it with your finger on the fader, because you're trying to let the track play through and let the mix come through, or whatever you're doing, without it being so obvious that you're using compression. So there's a lot of things that when you're in the live mindset, you gotta think fast. Even with the digital consoles, you still have to pay attention to the music. Got to know the show material. There's so many things. It's almost at times it's a reverse way of thinking. The studio gives you the luxury of creating sonic atmospheres, as opposed to a live venue where you have to examine the acoustics of the room and figure out how you're going to create clarity in presentation.
It's nice to hear that people are talking about this, because live work is one of the things that I stress to people that are starting out. If you get the opportunity to go do live, go do it. Yeah. Because it will put you up here versus right here.
It makes you very, very quick. It makes you very quick.
I miss doing live. I can't do it. I can't drive, and it's hard for me to get around to go do those things now. But every little thing that I learned from live, I make use of in the studio.
Yeah.
I mean, the people don't really understand the benefit of standing in front of and walking around a drummer versus just being in front of the drummer. Immerse yourself in that drum kit so you really understand where each hit's falling. You understand how that kit meshes as a whole, truly, from front of house, from the player's perspective, and that alone will make you better at miking a drum kit than watching all these videos that are out there.
Yeah, especially understanding the relationship between stage monitors and PA, main PA, and that band perspective. One of the things that live mixing did for me was it freed me up from always sitting, in the studio. You sit behind the console in the sweet spot, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you don't think to walk around the room. But it wasn't until I started doing stuff and I ran into guys like Khaliq, and that's what he'll do. He'll walk all around. He'll go to the corner.
That sounds like me.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, these little things mean a lot in the long run, because it means that you're looking at it through both sides of the equation. Even I still use the one where he opens the door and we walk around the corner. If I can walk around the corner and hear everything I need to hear, it's a good sign. All these little things that seem like they're quirky, they're not. They're just things that you're training your muscles to just respond and just rule out certain things and go right here. Okay, let me hear what it sounds like here. Even though I'm in the sweet spot, let me go hear what it sounds like there. Let me go hear what it sounds like there, so I understand what the room is doing.
Yep.
Dave used that word you just used. I can't emphasize to everybody how much. Understand. He
Yeah.
said, I understand what's going on. See, there's a one thing that now, like when I used to do the stuff like that Dave just mentioned, for example, walking around the room and going into a corner and things like that. These were not any scientific things when I first did it because they were just intuitive. I was just kind of walking around, and then I kind of get into one area because if I wasn't hearing what I wanted to hear, and then I get over suddenly closer to a corner and say, "Ooh, that sounds funny." So it wasn't something, nothing scientific about it. It's like, oh, that sounds funny. Let me see what else is going on. So I got in there, and then what I learned quite by accident, and then I found out by science later on, is that sound can sound funny in the corners if things ain't right in the room. Because that's where it all builds up. And I had no idea of, all the things building up in the tri-corners and stuff like that scientifically. It was just like I happened to walk around and, oh, that sounds weird, sounds funny, or what happened? That was my big one. I'd be walking around and suddenly it's like somebody punched me or something. Like, whoa, what happened? And so it's a big thing to understand what is going on, when I'm miking drums and things like that. And I know we're a little off topic, y'all, about what we're talking about, but we're just kind of going with this because I think this is helpful. Like when I'm miking drums and stuff like that, I'm referencing all the things. First of all, I'm referencing being a fan of just listening to bands in an audience. I'm referencing that in my mind. I'm referencing being a guitar player and standing stage left or stage right next to a drummer and seeing how it feels, and whether the bass player is opposite me or on the same side as me, depending on how small the stage is and whether we got two guitar players or whatever. And so I'm referencing all these things. I'm referencing where when I would sit down behind the drum kit because I just wanted to play with it and see what the drums sound like from behind the drum kit, even though I'm not a drummer. It's a different sound, And then I want to see, okay, what's this drum kit sound like as me as the engineer going in and actually listening to what's happening and miking it up, trying some things and moving some things. You've got to understand now, after all of those little pieces of input, it gets you to an understanding of, okay, here's what a drum kit's supposed to sound like, not from just one piece of information, but a whole bunch of different things come into play with that.
Mhm.
Yep. Josh, I wanted to ask you, and no, what? Let me go to Don because Don, you got on here. We haven't had a chance to hear from you yet, man. Why don't you chime in a little bit on some of that subject? And I saw what you were talking about the church thing and all that. So maybe chime in a little bit.
Yeah, what's up, guys?
What's up, man?
Hey, what's happening?
Yeah, I took an interest in my church's front of house. The guy that's doing it. I mean, he's good, but it's weird how he doesn't pay attention to things like feedback, proximity, and stuff like that. When I talked to him, he was like, "Well, I only been doing this for about a year or two, and I don't want to kind of jump in and like be forceful because that scares people, man. He might
Right.
think I'm trying to take his job or something."
Right.
But a lot of times, I hear like things like feedback will happen, like when the pastor's speaking, it'll sound muffled and muddy and things like that. To me, that's kind of like, okay, there's mud, so maybe 200 to 500 hertz or something will be a good place to start. Cutting mud out of his microphone and things like that. It's small stuff that I hear that's going on. But what I did for about 3 months, because I heard Dave when he mentioned moving around the room, it just like the light bulb went on for me because that's what I did. Like before I even said, okay, I want to be a part of this whole process with the sound engineering, I sat in like multiple positions in that church, and I was listening to the room. Basically, what I was doing was just kind of getting an idea what things sounded like.
Yeah.
And it just gives me the idea that he's not really paying attention to that. So I'm kind of like waiting to get in the right place with him, build a relationship, and then kind of be like, listen, how about you check this out, or spend some time, when he trusts me enough to, stay up top, go down and listen to, what the room sounds like and what the choir and the band sounds like, and get that perspective. Because when you're just sitting up top and maybe you got on headphones or something like that, I think that's a little false at times, because you're not going down, you know, you're not going down where the congregation is to listen to what they hear, you
Oh
know,
yeah, absolutely.
or going back, you know, and listening to the wedges, you know, or the, you know, this, like Dave was saying, you know, because I mean, if a lot of us probably played live, but you know, it's a different place, you know, when you're on stage, of course, we all know it's different than what the audience is getting, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much time they spent doing that, but I came up playing in bands, so I kind of got the both sides of the spectrum type thing. So, you know,
Yeah.
I was in the audience, and then I was an actual, you know, member of a band playing on stage and knowing what that experience is like. So that's kind of like where I want to kind of offer a little bit of help with that, with them, as far as that goes, you know, because I don't think he has a lot of experience with doing that. And then I seen Dave through that whole thing about the Behringer X32. It's funny that he talked about that because we were after that mixer at first, but the money wasn't really there, so we went with this Personas thing, the 24 by 4.
Mm-hmm.
And I know he was talking about the rooms and stuff. One of the tricks, you know, because I know you mentioned too, Khaliq, about not relying on tricks and gimmicks and kind of relying on real world things. But the one great thing about that thing is, man, you could do like a room analysis, and you can set your venues up. So if you play different places live, and you know you have bands that you do set front of house for and stuff like that, you can actually set the room up inside of that thing.
Oh, you talking about the PreSonus?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That
exactly.
board is
I love that.
awesome.
It is,
And
yeah. Especially the 32. The 32 is off the hook.
exactly. That's why I made that comment that Personas grew a brain. I love Personas. I was just being silly, man. But you know, I do like the fact that that thing does that because you know, and you guys are much maybe I won't talk that you're older than me, but you've been around longer than me. And back in the day, man, I remember having a PV head, and that was my first lesson. And the first thing they told me, Dave will appreciate this. Oh, you know, put it in a V. Put it in a V, and that'll be your sound. You know, I was like, that's not that's not my sound. You know, but that's how I learned. And I was 13 at the time. But
Yeah.
it's been a good ride to see all of these things progress.
Yeah.
But the Personas is great, man. I like being able to set, you know, venues, rooms, and you know, take that snapshot and lock it in. And it'll take the initial setup, you know, set the time away from setting up for a gig. You know, I mean, you can just get into it, man. So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Very important. Yeah, you know, that definitely is one of the better ones that they've come out with. It sounds great, it's stable, and you know, but there's a lot of options out there. So today, everybody, for those of you that are coming on right now, late, just we're talking basically, we kind of diverged off of what we were mainly talking about, but it all fits together. We're talking about some of the things that, you know, are new that you should know about, that are inspiring, that'll give you the little edge in your career, no matter what it is you're doing, first of all. So, you know, we may talk about it from the point of view of studio, but, you know, we also just now transitioned into talking about it live, because these are the little things that allow you to stand out above a crowd of other folks that are trying to do exactly the same thing that you're doing with exactly the same hardware, exactly the same plugins, and all this stuff. So you've got to find an edge. You've got to find something that's new and different, and then craft it into your thing that makes you stand out. What made me stand out and learn, I was mentioning earlier, is as I got into and found one effect that I really liked that had a ton of power, and I dug inside of it, you know, like nobody else had. I've seen some new stuff that is coming out now, and so we were talking about it, new boards that are out. We talked about, Dave mentioned the universal audio unit come out that gives you a whole nother edge, because that can allow you to be portable, light, and fast to get a lot of done with a lot of power in a small footprint. So anybody else have any more ideas on things like that and want to present something, maybe something we haven't thought about or come across, you know? Anybody have any ideas?
I got one thing. There was a little argument on the group page about this, but I can't really speak highly enough, and I'm not endorsed by them at all. But the Warm Audio 1176 emulation is, to me, for the price range and for the tone that it gives, and you know, the basics of compression. I can't say enough about that unit. $5.99. It's it's literally a beast. For what it does. Does it sound like a quote unquote real 1176? No, it has some. There are some differences, but to inject the tone, if you want that 1176 sound for the price range, I grabbed two of them. I love them, and I think it's we're all going smaller. We don't, our budgets are getting smaller. I love buying gear, but when you can buy a piece of gear for a fraction of the price of what it's normally going for and not lose too much, I think that it's something to look into.
Oh, that's good.
I had to do a little bit of distraction.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. I did that. I did that. I clicked on the screen. I gotta stay focused on you, please.
Oh yeah. Well, you gotta open up the mic. Okay, come on, join.
Is there a question mark, or is this the alternative programming?
Open the mic here.
Say hello.
Hi.
There you go.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
We are doing fine. Oh yeah.
We putting in work over here. That's all.
I see.
That.
Working. I'm working.
What they got you doing?
Shoot.
That's a working young lady there. He's the one who's gonna come down and sing to y'all. Well, she's one of them.
All right.
One of our singers.
Well,
Doing her photo shoot. She got a song coming out in 2 weeks.
oh, cool. All right. Well, hey, ain't nothing like the present.
That means sing right now. He just has to sing for her.
Ready?
Ready.
You're the furthest thing from tainted. You're a perfect picture painted. You have my heart on the lock and key. You're all that I ask. You're all I foresee. Who would have thought you and I would create something that's unstoppable? Who would have known you and I would overcome all obstacles, and to the top we climb, come together by design, infinitely on my mind, 'cause your love is so divine.
Yes.
I can't seem to get enough of your love. I can't seem to get enough of your love. I can't seem to get enough of your love. If you're breathing, I have a reason to never stop believing. Oh no, as we let the story unfold, what lies between you and I is still yet to be defined. From 100,000 miles away, we said that love will find a way. You're the reason my heart is beating, and I'll never stop believing.
Oh yeah. Go
I
ahead.
like
That's what I'm talking about.
Stage. What's cracking?
That's what I'm talking about.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Hey, check it out. We don't give many ovations here, so that was well earned. That was well earned.
Is that original? Did you write that?
This is written by H-Bomb.
Yes, it's original. H-Bomb wrote it.
H-Bomb.
All right.
Come here, H-Bomb.
H.
This is the dude that wrote it.
How y'all doing?
What's up, man? Good job. Good job.
What's happening, man?
All right, y'all got it working. I love it.
Definitely trying.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the project you're getting ready to you're working on and getting ready to drop on the world and take it over with. And tell us about
the project, her project.
And tell us about this lady.
What's her name first? What's her name? So far, we've got about 5 or 6 songs. You said what?
We want to know the lady's name and get her. This is promo time.
The name she's going by is
Karma.
Karma.
Yes.
Okay, right. With a K.
Uh-huh.
All right.
I think it's Karma.
Nope.
What is it?
KARMAA.
Hey, oh, my bad.
And we recorded 5 or 6 songs so far. I think 5 or 6 songs so far. You know, just getting into it.
Okay, yeah.
That's good.
Excellent job, really excellent. I'm very impressed. Shoot, you guys trying to get something here, ain't you?
Definitely try.
Yeah, you guys are trying to get something going. We'll go H-Bum. I love the song, man. This is you guys got something brewing, man.
Well, thank you. Definitely appreciate it.
I'm telling you, we're taking the stuff y'all saying and implementing them.
All
We
right.
got a bunch of people here at 559 Productions doing makeup and all kinds of stuff right now. Whole photo shoot.
Oh yeah, well that's cool. Y'all doing it up too.
Everybody gonna have to come down there and work for you, man. You employing folks.
That's why I had to put you on focus here. Like, okay. Like, what's going on back there on my screen?
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, you want to get both? Oh yeah. Okay.
Hey, pull the camera down a little bit.
Y'all in the middle of the video chat. I'm sorry,
No, he was trying to get the
No, what was going on right now? I was like,
video
what?
chat.
Pull the camera down. Pull the camera down a little bit.
Yeah, they're like on here.
Yeah,
Pull the camera down a little bit. We're seeing the ceiling. There we go. That's better.
Hold on. It's really loud right now. Okay.
Yep, go.
Let me play.
Is this a laptop camera?
Yeah, it's Mott's.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's better.
Now we can hear you.
now we can hear.
Good. Okay. Cool. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself, Karma.
All right. I was on one of these with you before. I had blonde hair, I believe, at the time. Blonde, long braid.
Okay.
Yeah, you met me before, but this is someone completely different. Two sides to me, so.
I like it.
Ain't no telling what she gonna show up looking like, bro.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like it. That's a good color.
Thank you.
Yeah,
What I want, hey, check. What I want to show you is, can you see it? Her feet, the shoes she got on. Where them shoes at?
Oh, there we go.
She got on some. I can't even do it fully. I don't know, but she got on some shoes. I can't even do it. She got on high heels with some stuff that look like bondage type things around her ankles. Man, they off the hook.
Hey man, do you want us to give you a moment?
Yeah, I know, man. You sound like you need a towel or something, bro.
A towel.
This man a towel.
And we got 8 of them. We got 8 female. Is it 8 still?
Yeah.
Okay, yes, it was 10. It's 8. It's 8 still. Okay.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
But no, her what that song that she just sang to you, we're releasing in 2 weeks. But y'all, what is it?
Sharp as a razor and.
Oh, Sharp as a Razor. Oh.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, we're saving that one.
Yeah, that's.
We're saving that one. We got another. She's gonna have to come down there and sing the other one for you then in person.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Because they're saying we're releasing another one, a different one in 2 weeks. But the songs like who is it? Dave, we would normally play you songs. It would be what we call ratchet. What I would call ignorant lyrics. But I kept telling you like that. No, we could write all kinds of stuff.
And
did we lock up or something? Did we lose them?
He said we could write all kinds of stuff, and then it fell off.
Yeah, we got a freeze frame. I don't know.
Because of them shoes.
I think the ignorant ratchet shit must have cut the line.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, enough. All right. Okay. Hey, Mott, we got a freeze frame here, so you guys may have a connection issue or something. Adjust the bandwidth and then take it back to where it was. That might be what's going on. And yeah, no, she sounded good, guys. I was pleasantly surprised. You know, anytime somebody has those textures in their voice, that's what's really good. I like that. She had a lot of textures, you know, getting a little more power in certain phrases. air in certain phrases, you know, breaking up syllables and everything. I was like, okay, she's got skills. You know, she's not just singing; she's getting into what the lyrics are saying and communicating. You know,
Awesome.
big deal, very big deal. So that's cool. I'm anxious to hear what they finally do. You know.
Yeah.
Also, what I heard, I mean, that working with vocalists like that, that must be fun to work with in the studio, because just from listening to it live, it was not like, you know, when you hear somebody live, you're like, ooh, okay, I heard notes there. But from what I heard just off the cuff, man, that would have been just like a blank canvas to work with. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely, yeah. No, she was excellent. I was listening for it and everything. It's like anytime somebody can be that solid live, you know, just right off, no prep. I mean, she was just ready to go. And see, that's the mark of somebody that's got it. When you're ready to go, that's what I say. Ain't no time like the present. Sing now, you know. Go on and do it. And she didn't hesitate. She didn't. Oh, let me get myself together. Let me fix my makeup. And she just went and jumped in and started singing. That's what's up. You know, I love it. You know, and was confident. The line sounded clear, articulated well, where you could hear the enunciation of, you know, the words and notes she was saying. She wasn't chewing her words in her mouth or anything like that.
Yeah, and I like the fact that it was not over wordy. You know,
yeah.
Sometimes when you listen to the script of what they're saying, there's so many ways they try and say the same thing that they waste words and they waste air.
Yeah, great job, H-Bomb, on the lyrics.
Really good work on the lyrics.
You know, I like that.
Appreciate it. Thank you, he said. We lost internet for a second there.
Yeah, I see, you know. No, it's very cool, very cool. You know, it's nice. That's a nice surprise on a Sunday afternoon. Very nice.
Here we go. We're still on.
Yep. Cool. Now you guys are going to release something, you said, in the next couple of weeks, right?
She is. She's a song of hers is going to be released in about 2 weeks called what?
Sharp as a razor.
Sharp as a razor. H-Bomb wrote it also.
Okay.
A lot.
Yeah. Now, are you sure it's ready? That's my only question to you. Are you sure it's ready?
Well, y'all are going to hear it before we release it. Dre DeMos is going to be mixing it, and we're going to send it off to y'all.
Did they go out again?
Yeah, I think you guys got a sketchy internet connection. Probably the Wi-Fi. You know, Wi-Fi is a little slower.
I think her great vocals broke their interwebs.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so it's too much data. We can't handle all this. Too much singing. Got all that power.
There's a bunch of people here probably on the internet doing who knows what, so it's messing us up right now.
Oh, it's pulling it down. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good. Well, cool, man. Yeah, definitely. You know, before you do it, you know, feel free to send it to me and Dave, because, you know, I think, you know, we'll be able to help you if there's anything to catch. You know, we'll be able to help you catch it so that you can deal with whatever it is, you know, beforehand, before the public gets it.
Dre DeMos will be mixing it, and then I'll come in and do stuff to it, you know, like just do little stuff to it, and then we'll send y'all, you know, whatever, and you know, we'll he sends stuff to Dave anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got to get you in the loop. See, Dave in the loop, Khaliq. You're not in the loop yet.
Well, I get stuff every now and then, but I don't get it as much as Dave. You know?
Hey man, let me ask you something. How much of her vocal was ad-libbed?
What? How much of your vocal was ad-libbed on that song?
How much did you just do what you felt versus, you know?
On the version that's where she.
No, this what she just sang right now.
Oh no, those were the verses.
Those are verses. So that's all. She improvised all those.
No, that's a written song.
No, I know that. I just meant all the inflection.
Oh no, the riffs and runs and stuff like. No, that's her.
She's been adapting that song to whoever she sings it to. So if she sings it to a little boy or a grown woman or whoever, it changes, and that's what we've been practicing.
Okay.
is getting her to do that, and she started doing good. So there's no telling what she's finna sing or how she's finna sing it. So that was all her.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I noticed that, and I noticed, like I said, the lyrical, because I've listened to enough of the tunes that you guys have sent to notice a different stamp on the lyric. You know what I'm talking about, H-Bomb, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
H-Bomb just applied his brain differently, you know.
No, man, no, you know what I'm talking about, because a lot of times when some of the songs that are sent in the past, one of my comments that's pretty consistent is that it's sometimes wordy just to be wordy, you know, and she's got so much that she can improvise with.
Yeah.
The right selection of how to say it in each section gives her the ability to do what she's going to do.
Right.
And that's why that sounded so different. It didn't have the same print on it like the other ones.
Yeah.
But that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
But the other ones aren't necessarily singing either. So
I keep telling you, I'm listening to y'all.
Yeah, you know, I'm not trying to be technical. We can say it's not singing, but on the other songs, I mean, what do you guys call it?
I call it we listening to y'all.
No, serious.
Right?
If somebody's, it's the lead vocal, right?
all right.
Yeah, so that's why, and sometimes they take off in an effort to simulate singing, but they don't sing all the way. So,
Yeah.
you know, when you have a singer, and you got to give them that room to do what they do. But
Right.
like I said, that you did a real nice transition on how you handled the lyric in dealing with her. You know.
Well, thank you kindly. I can't take the credit for that part. Back off and let her do what she does.
That's it.
Yeah, she knows what's
I am not
she knows
joking
what
when I
she's
tell you
doing.
guys we listen and then apply what you guys say.
I believe it.
Well, yeah, but a big part of that is to Carmen. You've got what it takes. See, naturally. See, there's certain things that you can explain to people, but they still have to have the natural, innate ability to do it. And you know, I can tell that you have like I said, it's the little stuff that makes the difference on what you were singing and how you were bringing the words together and the phrases together and the syllables together. Not everybody can do that. You know, you were doing it naturally as well. You know. So,
Right.
yeah.
Even knowing when to hold back and not go there all the way. You know, the typical thing is to just go there and you know, start launching into a Patti LaBelle. You know. And you didn't do that. No, I was watching. Come on, guys. You know I watch. So, you know, I could see there's a point at which you were doing your improv, and you could have taken it further, but you made the decision. Now that's enough, and you kept moving forward. And that's the part Khaliq's talking about. That's that little snap where you know exactly how much to give, and you keep going and getting the job done.
Yeah, Don is silly. He said you can't teach a bullfrog how to sing like a canary.
Exactly. Exactly.
True words. Cool. Great job. Can't wait.
We're gonna try to have this with every singer that we deal with. We're putting them through training. Like, I mean, as you guys tell us stuff, we actually train with them to get them to do certain things, and it can be very frustrating. Like, she's gotten frustrated with me flat out and got him walked out, and now I go chasing her like I'm Ike Turner. Where are you going, anyway? And and you know, try to stress upon them. No, there's a reason that we're doing this stuff, and the payoff. You know, the payoff comes in the end. Like, I can't BS you guys with this stuff, right? And I'm telling her, like, when we come with the real stuff, there's going to be a payoff for it. And when we're in front of you guys, there is no BSing. So like if we're in the hood kicking with some homies, yeah, we can BS them, but y'all, no. Or he said Patti LaBelle. If we're in the presence of Patti LaBelle, there's no BS in Patti LaBelle or her people, and that's what I want to. I want to be able to be in the presence of how.
Oh Losing
I
the
think his
connection
line
again.
went out again.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's a good example of just, the singer really being able to convey who they are.
Yeah, she definitely has what it takes, and I'm glad you hung out with us before, and any little advice we gave previously, and along with what you've been getting to us, I'm hoping it's helping because I was very, very happy with what I heard, and that's not an easy task, even though I try to be very nice and even with most people, because I think being productive is always going to help people more so. But the standards that I learn from and we all learn from is very high. I mean, I saw her come out. I mean, even the way you look right now, Karma, the way you're looking right now reminded me of one of the greatest singers that I had a chance to produce, and that was Shawnice Wilson. And she came out, it's like, oh, she looking like Shawnice back in the day and everything. And started singing, and it's like, oh, she actually almost sounded like Shawnice because you had the little internal skills that, somebody that has the understanding of what it takes to really convey a lyric. A lot of singers make the mistake of thinking that I got to go out and sing. No, you got to go out and communicate. It's just communication with notes, with melody. That's all it is.
Translating emotion.
Yeah. But the bottom line is that if you don't communicate what's being said in those lyrics and everything, and the internals of the lyrics as well, singing all the riffs in the world, or even singing straight but powerhouse Patti LaBelle vocal. Patti LaBelle, trust me, would not be the legend that she is if she always singing everybody with that powerhouse voice. See, she understands that while I've got the powerhouse voice, Patti LaBelle can get whisper quiet. Patti LaBelle moves and molds and melds words like they're clay, internally. And then by the time she does hit you with her power and everything, she's hit you with everything else. So she's taking you the full gamut of the emotions just from understanding what it is she's singing. Then there's some songs she sings like straight ahead, real, while, like I said, if she would see, this is the difference I say between somebody that's a powerhouse vocalist like a Patti LaBelle, and not to disrespect or anything, but it's a difference. Like say a Fantasia or somebody like that.
Yeah.
Fantasia is a great singer, but there's little nuances, say, that a Patti LaBelle has that a Fantasia doesn't have, even though they're both powerhouse singers, And one you can pretty much listen to like all the time because she's going to go through the whole thing. Another one you might need a break after a while, Like I said, it's no disrespect or anything like that. It's just real. There's some people that are like that can, and that's why they attain certain legend status, because they know they've got that whole thing that they can take you through.
Got that, anime?
Yeah.
It's Joe Jackson speaking right there.
Yeah. I'll tell you though, you better be careful, bro. Don't be trying that Ike Turner stuff too much. She got them chains on and spikes. That's for your ass. You get crazy.
Hey, you see what she did to him in the cat?
Yeah, exactly. You said I'm coming prepared.
Whooped on Ike in the cat. Whooped on him.
Yeah, man. Yeah, cool. Well, good job, guys. Good job. Well, anybody else have any other things? Like I said, kind of wheeling back. We're kind of all over the place, but that's okay. It's just a conversation and a hangout. Anybody run across any good new stuff that'll help folks, get there, solidify what they're trying to do, and just be better? Anybody have anything else that we haven't thought about? Any new plugins that anybody ran across that you think might work and help somebody, or an article even? Did you run into any articles?
I got a book the other day when I went to this event. It's called the Bruce Swedien Recording Method. Everybody should check it out.
Oh yeah, I've got that. Where is it at? Where's my
Yeah.
I've got it here.
Excellent book.
You got your copy?
Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, I don't have mine handy. But it is, yeah. Bruce really gets down into some great stuff on that. Hold on. Let me get you up here, Dave, on the screen. Hold it up. Yeah, there it goes. Yes, yeah, that's an excellent book too. Everybody that's serious, whether you're an engineer or not, I recommend that you should get it, just for the fact that even like even singers and musicians and all that, to give you an understanding of
It's
what
a
it
great
takes on
reference.
a high level like that. He's got some great stuff. He's got diagrams and charts from legendary artists and sessions that he's worked on. It'll give you an idea so that you can carry it into what you're going to do. There's certain things that definitely just should be in your library. That's one of them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The only
Anybody
other
got
thing
anything
I
else?
can think of is, I mean, it's just music business related, but the Donald S. Pressman book, all about everything you need to know about the music industry. I believe that's what
Yeah.
the title is. You know what I'm talking about. That's a great read, and everyone needs to have that.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's another classic book that
Yeah.
is. What
Probably
edition is that in now?
I think
Because
it's probably on its fourth or fifth.
Yeah, I
yeah,
think that's about right.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. That's
yeah.
like that was the Bible in the beginning.
Absolutely. And see, when we first started out, that's all they had an occasional book here or there. People weren't sharing all this information. So you know, you got an opportunity like unlike anything that's ever been in history of music. So yeah, that's good stuff. Anybody else have any other good stuff? Okay, Mott's got something of the shortcuts to hit songwriting. Is that what that says?
Yep, shortcuts to hit songwriting. I like I said at the end of your last hangout, her name is Robin Frederick. I've been picking up stuff from her for the last 3 years, just little stuff off the internet, and that she's typed up, videos that she's done. She's answering questions, and I have been thoroughly let's just say it has helped me. So I went ahead and bought her book. I've only made it to page 7, bro. I stayed up all last night. She said do this task, and I just stopped reading and did the task because it's one thing to have stuff in my brain, but it's another to do the action. And so she said if you want to learn certain nuances, go take industry songs that are hits that you like, and simply like if you want to learn how nuances of how they do hooks, take an industry song, go to the hook, and rewrite the words. And so I've been doing that all night, rewriting words. And so you learn how they're switching up the vocal cadences, how the melodies are working with the music, all that, the harmonies, all that stuff. And so anyway, that's what I've been doing all night, because I got the book yesterday. But the way I'm going to read this book is I'll read whatever she says do. I'm going to stop and simply do it for a while. And then all of our singers who are also going to learn, who are also learning to songwrite, because I'm teaching them how to write songs. They're going to go through this whole process that I'm going through, but I'm going through it first to get acclimated to it, and then I'll put them all through hell to help them grow.
Cool. And Hugh, you had a book, a Burt Bacharach book. Could you hold that up again?
It's basically my life in music. Anyone who had a heart, Burt Bacharach.
Yeah.
It's a new book, fairly new book. I just started it Friday.
I'm surprised he took so long to put his book out, though.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a good book.
This guy is a legend. If anybody doesn't know, you should know. But if you don't know, Burt Bacharach, I mean, has made some of the most enduring hits and some of the biggest hit music in the world. Period.
Yes.
But more importantly, for somebody like me who is a musician, and you guys too, everybody else that's on here is musicians, you really know what I'm talking about. His chord progressions and melodies, oh my God, they go through something that nobody else had done previously, stuff that was real. It was not the standard fare, it's not standard 2-5-1 stuff, And so that's what I always loved about Burt Bacharach, the way he did his chord progressions and his melodies and stuff like that were amazing. Then coupled with Hal David's lyrics, and then put it with voices, Dionne Warwick and people and other people that are his big hit makers.
Luther,
of course. Yeah.
Isaac Hayes.
Yeah. So you know, those folks.
Bruce. You know.
Yeah. They all redid a lot of his songs. Yeah, definitely. So it's like it's an unbelievable combination, and it's an education, I think, to read something from a guy like that. I'm gonna have to get that book. I don't have it, but I'm gonna have to get it.
Is that plain language or is it headache language?
It's plain and it's very comical. He talks about his life. Like it breaks down almost how he writes and how his, like Khaliq was mentioning, his chord progression. It came from jazz. He grew up in the New York area and he hung out in jazz clubs and that's how he learned how to play. He went to Canada to college and he ended up in LA and just his whole overall where that music, that sound came from. But it's clean. I mean, it's a really good book. I'm not a real big book reader, but this book here, you can go through it and have you smiling the whole time, just talking about music, you know.
Yeah.
Just so I know, what is headache language?
Big words.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got me with that one.
No, I get it. See, I'm not I used to like reading a lot of books, but you know, my eyes have gotten a little fuzzier lately. So, and then my attention span. So, I need a book that I can just kind of breeze through. You know.
Hold on, I'll go get Dr. Zeus from upstairs in my daughter.
Yeah, exactly. That'll work for me. Yeah, give me a little Sam I Am or something like that, and put some audio to it, and I'm straight. Yeah. Cool, guys. If anybody has anything else they want to chime in, or if not, you know, we can conclude this one for the day. Everybody pretty good?
Mm-hmm.
Cool, gentlemen. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate you coming on here. Join us again for the next Hangout where we're going to be touching more stuff. Like I said, this is just us hanging out like we did back in the day when we used to be in multi-room studios and we go down the hall and hang out with somebody in their studio. They come down the hall, hang out with us, or we'd all meet in the kitchen, or we'd all meet in the bathroom or whatever.
In the bathroom.
Yeah.
Are we sure this isn't American Dad or Family Guy?
Okay, yeah, you're right. For different reasons, you know.
You talking some songs, yo, man. What was that ratio you set? Hold on, wait a minute.
I'll tell you after I flip the stage.
Yeah, I should have known. Don't open up the door, colleague. You know.
There you go, man.
That's part of the studio experience too. They jump on you like, what? What'd you say, man? But this is cool, you know. And we get to do this worldwide too. So, all right. So anyway, guys, y'all have a wonderful day, and I will catch y'all on the next one.
All right, man.
Later.
Peace.
Y'all have a good one.